leadership of SLPP on a matter for the leadership of SLPP on a matter for the leadership of SLPP on a matter for the leadership of SLPP on a matter for democracy and transparency, for food security, electricity, gender equality, economic stability. Like Benyama, not tell me more than him, no matter like Benyama, not tell me more than him, no matter no pepper me, not tell me more than him, no matter no pepper me, not tell me more than him, no matter so actually.
All right, good evening and welcome to another segment of your program where they meet you every Monday and Thursday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. when at the SLPP hour, and is a paid for program where we talk extensively waiting the inside the new direction manifesto or waiting the inside the new manifesto where the SLPP party they run into for the June elections, and continue for stay with who come we will get we guest in the studio we go come for explain a little bit on employment and on employment as well.
Gonna push for in queso. But all this trouble and wahala, mother be your pledging loyalty as a soldier, protect your life and property, he save we land from enemies. Mother be your pledging love for safe Salono. Put we country before Ambako, we hold fire. For full we people papo Ambako, we hold fire. For peace, love and unity Ambako, we hold fire. For better security Ambako, we hold fire. As a good military in his plan leadership, say they make paramount chief. Now them kind man we need for presidency. Don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. Benyama, don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. No pepper me, don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. No pepper me, don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. So actually, don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. So actually, don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. He left me go, don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. He left me go, don't tell me more than him, no matter we want. As information minister, he bring TV in this country. As I'm chief of staff, this soldier begin for laugh. Mother be your vet, teteo, rebel and surrender. Advice, the advice, say we for use democracy as device.
All right, welcome back from the music break there where we just done take inside the program. Remember, say the program we listen to now on Epic Radio 99.3 FM, and we same way so they on Facebook now. SLPP Hour is a paid for program, and we run them from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. In the studios now, just don't be joined with David Maliwe, SLPP MP candidate. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
Now, today specifically, the SLPP want for can talk about the plans them we then get for create job opportunity for youth man them in as much as we see that one day in a team where plenty people on the raise concern about. So in the new direction manifesto we title as consolidating gains and accelerating transparency and accountability. So waiting exactly the insider one day for youth man them, especially with regards to job opportunity.
Thank you for this opportunity for can share our vision for better Sierra Leone with the wider Sierra Leonean community. Me na youth man, me na young man, and fortunately, I get a job. I don't get a job for a very long time now. But you're not going to sit down in the case for a lot of young people around the Sierra Leonean society. We acknowledge our parts there. We know, say, governments are the biggest employer in a salon. And governments are going to end up for employ all youth man them, just like our governments are going to end up for employ all man. But that don't mean say we're not going to provide solutions for the internet day, because one of the things the way people like can say, they say we person idle, and that thing they get time for do all kind of bad thing them. So we need to engage with young people them. And now the manifesto, the Sierra Leone People's Party highlight different way them. We'll go able to make sure say we able to contribute for the young people them, both young man and young woman them, enter the workforce, so that they're able to build up their own life and take care of themselves and their community.
Now, so away from that, I want to take you back. The previous manifesto we una been get, una talk a lot about how many percent increment in job, but we not see plenty people they what say, oh, that much job way the ruling party be the talk about, you know much seen, except for quite some areas them way you go on for talk say, then get car wash center them we not able for cater even for, I mean, 50% of youth man them we. Like you self rightfully mentioned, where you get a lot of youth them way unemployed, that they create some chaos, they create mayhem, they create them forget themselves involved into any negative things them. So waiting actually way on a peg the job or on a peg the job creation on for youth man them.
Well, one of the ministers, they were the longest serving youth minister in salon history. Honorable Oman Bangu, I would disagree with you when you talk about youth in car wash, because although enable for hire all the youth them, they do a significant, they play a significant role in hiring and building a capacity for the young man and go able to take care of themselves. I mean, opening up car washes all across the country is not something to just dismiss. But don't not forget, say, not to car wash, no more you do youth in fishing, youth in farming. So there are lots of opportunities we explore out there for bring count to young people then. In terms of the vision we'll get for the next one, so when you just say, I just say down there for say, where you just say, we not provide all these jobs, and we did, but the youth population are the biggest population as salon, so it's very, very difficult for hire all young people at the same time. It's a gradual process, and I make the manifesto title Accelerating Gains, against the world make now. And the way how would you go about if we can get to that point today, we don't identify ways that we feel so we'll be able for increase youth employment. Remember, say, two different kind of youth then in terms of the workforce. We get the skilled laborers and the unskilled laborers. That the one that we go school, we able to get work, and the one that we they not go school and then can do the manual labor them. We identify, say, we need for cater for the all two. You know, go just cater for one person no more. In terms of the education agenda, we make sure, say, we not only identify primary and tertiary education we focus on, but we identify other ways in which you can gain your qualification then without going to a formal education, so the informal education sector. But also, as I mentioned when I begin talk, governments are able to hire all young people there. So one of the strategies we feel so we're going to employ for let people then, young people then go get jobs then and accelerate the number of young people who they put into the skill into the workforce. Now for all provide incentive to the private sector. The private sector, if you hire a lot of people then the burden the less on government. We also identify, say, some man not to work they want. They want to start their own business. So we identify, say, we set aside some money where the young people then go use as capital, as business money, where they want to start business, for let themselves be able to create a source of living for themselves.
So like just only there quickly. With regards that one, the way you don't make mention, say, for provider incentive for young man them, or give them money we go able for push them for start business for perhaps people and we not to get interest in, say they want for work but they want for open their own business. How una go do this way? I mean, una politicize them, ensuring that una cater for the wider public, irrespective of the post in the SLPP or not.
Well, we don't get a history. So anything we talk about now, we get proof. We don't get a history of doing the social schemes then and politicizing it. For example, where we do the student loan scheme, not to SLPP people, they no more benefit from that. Where we do the scholarship, as long as you're a woman, you do STEM, you study for free all the way through university level. Yes. We know politicize them. Everybody can get access to that. When they give that money we come for help businesses, then they market women, and during COVID, the 1.3 million we then give the market women there. Not to the SLPP market.
Talk about the Munafa Fund?
Yeah. Not to SLPP market women, no more than give. So we don't get a track record. We now will count on in this election, for make sure say where we they identify way them for make the country develop. We know they say we the only identify way for the SLPP people develop. Because this country now a mixture of SLPP, APC, NGC, all kind of people there.
All right, okay. So another aspect of Amigenge for do with education and skills development. How una go ensure say una prioritize that one day? I mean, by this we get a lot of graduates them way then they come down every year. They can't join the unemployment people them when a graduate back as well. So in as much as we know say yes the government get for cater for other aspects them. So any plans there for people perhaps for say, okay, you go to college or you go to a university when we know say you're a final year student or you don't graduate, job already then at the market they wait for you.
It's not easy for create a job for everybody with a graduate. But what we they do now for make sure say one of the ways them now for set up a way for let people them be able benefit from the one the way they do ICT and the creative industry, the one the way they do them, where they make them bag, them shoe, let themselves get an opportunity for able to expand on the market. Because as I don't say before, governments are able to hire all man. So if you create the opportunities then for let people that way they in the creative industry, they're able for make money from waiting and they do, from the work with and they do with their hand. You're able for set up a fund where young people and they're able to access if they want to start their business. You're able for incentivize that, you're able for give money or tax break them to business them for let they hire a person. Then you get a policy. All this why they talk about I think within our manifesto. You get a policy where say every public work where they happen, before get a certain percentage of young people them we included at the workforce. I believe say if we address unemployment, youth and unemployment from all the different angles them, we they make a significant dent by the number of unemployed young people in Asylum.
So again, you did make mention of innovation. So waiting at the specific plans where the manifesto they highlight when it comes to innovation, technology, advancement, we go enhance development for let youth man them say, oh, I don't need for go get masters or I need for go get a degree before I get the job, but at least that middle level job way I do. How una go able still say that technology una able bring them in for create a job for young man them?
It can be refreshing way. So I can feel fine when they ask me that kind of question in there because before I decide for run as member of parliament, some of them think they will work on personally, hands-on, the organization I've been there with. We know see the ICT sector, you're able to hire a lot of people then. Some of the work the Office of the Chief Minister under the Directorate of Science, Technology and Innovation do in the past government, in the past 5 years, sorry, that then liaise with like people like Coursera, where they do provide skills training, ICT skills training for all young people, no matter your education level, as long as you're able to access the computer, you're able to go and learn them, skills them. Because we do partner, we do workforce recovery initiative during COVID. We then train people them on skills them, we then go able to use in our office them. Now more of than them we look at. We know say we don't build through our partnership, government of Salon through a partnership with UNDP, we don't build youth hubs, the innovation hubs, where people can pick up ICT skills. Because if you don't pick up ICT skills, you no need for going to college for be a graphic designer, for be a web designer, for be a developer. You don't need college. As long as you're able to access internet, you're able to pick up them skills and then you're able to get job based on the opportunities that were available to you. Now that way we don't make them so far. And that's again today we continue for we make sure see we provide avenues for let people them we want to explore the ICT sector and go able for pick up skills and get the certificates them we go make sure see then go able get employment.
The ruling government they campaign now under the platform of feed the people we get for do with agriculture or feed salon we get for do with agriculture. How una go see say una inculcate the youth into farming? Because if we talk about agriculture, we get for mention farming as well. You know, we get a lot of these young boys where then they on the streets, perhaps some they on drugs, some they fight for getting living, where perhaps some of them they on Okada, Keke and all. How una go able galvanize then kind percentage of people and the way we get for bring them into the farming, into the agricultural system, we go help enhance the development we talk about for feed the country.
Not all man do farming. Some man feel say their life in the city there and then want for in the city. Plenty, well, few opportunities don't come for let people then move from the city and go do farming work. They don't want to do that there. For the people that we want to do farming, as I say, part of the policy we will get for develop, now for make sure say every public work where they happen, young man there, there's a certain percentage of young man and young woman there we need for the part of that day. That's so we they include them. Members say back, we've been already get youth in farming project under the Ministry of Youth been on the rollout. So we don't already get some young people that we engage in farming. We believe say for let we country go develop, for let we economy go strong, for let we go able for develop human capital, we need for be able for feed we save. As a start, not to all man go able gonna farm, but plenty people then they not get the resources required, they not get the farmland, they not get the skills. So we they provide the avenues and then provide farms them up in the province, upline. So anybody who want to do farming, we feel say you want to pick up the farming skills, we want another farming business you want to do, you go there and learn and you're able to contribute to feeding Sierra Leone.
Okay, so another one way I go on for ask you now that we know say the government not get the space, not get the room for create job for every youth man or every Sierra Leonean or every indigene. One key people where we can call the private sector, then they into all this for aid the government for see how best. So waiting for be on a collaborative effort on go ensure say on bring the private sector on board. When I want hand in hand for let the issue of job business or one job if not be laid to rest, but at least let it go down to a certain amount or level where young man go feel say, oh, I get a job or I get opportunity for get job?
The private sector now they know the job that we are available, the skills that we required, and waiting then they look for in the candidates that we then they accept for coming inside the workforce. You know, go say they provide them workman them, they not listen to them, waiting they want for let the workman and do. So this is a collaborative process. We listen to the private sector for see waiting at the current needs of the market. We'll all be able to provide the workforce, we go able to meet their needs then they. Also, while we do that day, as I've mentioned before, we provide incentive to the private sector because I then get for hire, for let them go able for hire young people them, for let them go able hire young people them for come fill their space they wouldn't get at the market.
So now we talk about the middle level job them. You know, you get people them way in a plumber, you get people them way you go say this na carpenter, you will get people them way go say, oh, this na messina. All the middle level job then they we get a lot of youth man them we want for get themselves involved. So is there any plans we see the government to get for them people then they for get them employment, for let them get outside and they get them onto mouth or onto pocket?
Yes, plan day for make sure say all my way work. You go find some side where you will get the training for the work. Now I make the education where we focus on, or where we focus on the last regime, and only focus on the formal education sector in our primary schools, pre-primary, primary, secondary, and university. We also get the skill centers, like training centers, where people then they go and pick up how for be carpenter, how for be mechanic, how for be plumber. Where you learn dancing and you no need for go college for like you able for get work. So we don't focus on that. Where we say education for develop the human capital, where the young people themselves included, not so just that book learning for go sit on a classroom, but even that part where they're gonna workshop, you learn how for correctly use the tool in a carpenter shop, where you learn how pipe then they join for be plumber, where you learn anything and they where you know say we don't done, you don't get certificates, you go do apprenticeship, you're able to call yourself workman. Where you're able to do work and get you small money. So then they're all a part of the plan.
All right, continue for stay with we. In name na David Maliwe na SLPP MP candidate where they talk on the SLPP manifesto, especially the what we get for do with job opportunity for youth man them, for young people them when they come if elected into office again. Continue for stay with we. The program where they listen na SLPP hour and it's a paid for program with the runner from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Of SLPP on a mother bio we want the leadership of SLPP on a mother bio we want the leadership of SLPP on a mother bio we want the leadership of SLPP on a mother bio we want for democracy and transparency, for food security, electricity, gender equality, economic stability. Like Benyama, not tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. Like Benyama, not tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. No pepper me, not tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. No pepper me, not tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. So actually, not tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. So actually, not tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. He left me more, don't tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. He left me more, don't tell me more than him, no matter be oh we want. Time in there, now we caught is alone, yeah. meet ganga sote. Some man molest, some man to like forest, some man run away go abroad, some go na bush for fet in case so. But all this trouble and wahala, mother be your pledging loyalty as a soldier, protect your life and property, he save we land from enemies. Mother be your pledging love for safe Salono. For put we country before. Ambako, we hold fire. For pull we people papo. Ambako, we hold fire. For peace, love and unity. Ambako, we hold fire. For better security. Ambako, we hold fire. As a good military in display leadership, till they make paramount chief. Now the kind man we need for presidency. Mother be up, now the man.
All right, welcome back from that short break there. The program where you listen to now the SLPP hour where they meet you every Monday and every Thursday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. and is a paid for program. And are they in the studio with David Mali, where now the SLPP NP candidate, and they outline some of the goals, challenges them where the present government don't get, and same so how them plan for work on the employment for young man them and plenty other people them we think say the opportunity for job not in the country. Mr. Marlin, before we begin to go for a short break, we will talk about youth in fishing, we will talk about farming and all. So how successful that project they be done be?
The youth in farming project and the youth in fishing project, from my perspective, now project have been successful because before now, young people they not been even they get the opportunity for engaging their fields then they. But the fact that with this government, they again the longest serving youth minister ever, Oman, implements them projects and they're now you just see companies them where people them when our young people are there and sets them up, when are done they engaging, when are the projects kind of empower them from the inception till we started nothing up strong and also today. So for start, very, very successful projects them, and we do hope say we expand on them in the next dispensation.
Okay, away from the projects they are waiting for do with the car wash project, you talk about the youth in farming, you talk about youth in fishing. What's are the other thing them who think say on a light in the manifesto for young man them? We they mention young man them because now then they, I mean, in the high rate of employment and same way so now the most of the time they call on the attention of government for provide job for them because of their youthful age. So waiting away from that they will not get for them apart from give them incentive and other things them waiting at the outline plans them will not don't put together.
Hello, don't forget send out to young man the number in the workforce and not to young man the number they face this unemployment issue. We also get young women them. So one of the things that we highlight as one of the solutions for unemployment, for provide a scheme, so a way where out of school girls them be able for pick up skills them, we're gonna make them able for get work. Either they start their own business them or they start staying small work them based on their skill level. Because where they tackle unemployment, you know they tackle them from just one end no more. So now one of the things that we highlight for out of school girls them for be able to enter the workforce. But then let's go back to the question we asked about young man them. Besides farming, besides fishing, besides businesses, besides ICT and innovation, the document is expansive. It just they tell you say, whatever way we be able to capacitate young people them, let them get the skill, kind of the first thing. even the one that way they come out college, most of the way people in the say they don't graduate and don't get any degree, they don't get work. Depends on what they don't come out college for. But now we talk about focusing on the skill where the person get the skill, then you don't empower, you don't incentivize the private sector for pick them skillful people. And the private sector, they say them, the whole thing with the drive in a profit. If you don't incentivize them for letting hire young people, then you don't give them capable young people then for do the work, then go hire them. And no question about that. And if the private sector don't take the bulk of young people, you don't hire them, government will step in. There's so many things with government. As I say, government are the biggest employer. The government hire teachers, police, soldiers, mechanics. Then they hire all things. So if the private sector, we don't incentivize them for let hire young people, then we don't make our policy say every public work where they happen, a certain percentage of young people then for the day. Then we don't provide skills training, adequate skills training in every field for the young people, and we're able to address the unemployment issue because governments are only a limited percentage for coming and higher.
Somebody where the list we right now go the thing say, we dey talk about creating job for people. Away from that, we dey talk about the minimum wage in the country, where you go say the government benchmark for pay somebody where it don't work now 800,000. So look at the economical situation of the country, look at the earning capacity of the person, and look at what it gets as a month-done salary. Perhaps somebody go say go get 1 million, but when it comes to cost of living, it's very high. You get a lot of demand them for make. Is there any plan for say, oh, when we come again, if being elected again, when we come into governance, we go ensure say we increase the minimum wage for people them. So if even you not get a lot of work in your hand, but that particular one where you get to able sustain you and your family with them. Any plans?
With governments, with party, and Cumbria government and Cumbria party, they listen to the cries of the people. We know the needs of the people, them, and then try for address them as best as we can. Now we increase minimum wage to 600. Now we increase minimum wage to 800 because we know what's in the people and they go through. So we always consider all the economic variables them and see how we go make life easy for all Sierra Leoneans. That they nine our focus. And if they include expanding or increasing the minimum wage, as long as we don't consider all the economic factors, as I say, we don't do them before. We do them not because we want to brag, we do them because we see how the people they need them. And if we don't do them before, why not?
So talking about the economical factor, I'm very keen for know about the what we get for do with the dollar. Most of the time we see dollar there on the increase until you sleep 1 or 2 months or 1 or 2 weeks, you see go up. But the salary not get for go up and things they go up, things they become very expensive. In increasing again the minimum wage, say perhaps to 1 million, is there any plans how I want foresee for the work with the dollar rate or for the work out things they go? So when the economical situation they hiking, they go up, then the increments go come as how and needed.
No plan not there for low tie unemployment for low tie the minimum wage to dollar. If anything, we try for strengthen and beef up with own currency and not the US dollar. The reason we make dollar just they go up, they shoot up. It's simple. We're not able for feed ourselves yet. We're not able for make our own materials that we need in the country yet. We need for imports. We don't get all you own them. You don't change into dollar. You go overseas. Then safe the face inflation. Or you go there, you don't buy your markets. The money will be in the plan for you, so buy your market, you get to spend more. Where you can sell your markets back. For pull your profits, you get for increase the price. So price don't go up based on the dollar don't go up. We focus on the little things. Make sure say we're able for cuts we save from importing rice. then they get a significant impact on the economy. Make sure, say, we get factory them, with the make stuff them, na salon. Within the happen, we they reduce we import.
So this now advice to the party?
No, I they tell you what we don't do. What we don't do over the years, and what we they plan for do.
More factories
the economy, more factories than
compared to the former regime?
Compared to the
former regime, the APC regime?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, just last month we opened the pineapple factory in Kenema. There's one in Port Loco where we just opened as well. So we know the value of manufacturing industry, and at that day, as I say, in our collective steps that we take, we know say if we open factory, you don't sort out some young people then for jobs. So obviously you don't put a dent on youth unemployment. At the same time, you don't boost up the economy because that money where people then they take for go import stuff them in the country they left. So we did look at ways them where we do 1 or 2 steps where they create significant impact on across all the development indicators, and that's how we can look at them.
So look at the way we get for do with the GIWI bill na parliament where 30% don't go to women them. So how una also able for inculcate the 30% into the manifesto when it comes to job creation for women them, especially waiting at the plans where the manifesto make for women them for ensure say una able for getting the 30% quota when it comes to job creation.
Well, every public institution, we make them say you can forget 30% women them inside the institution. Then they say they create job opportunities for women them. Incentive, we plan for the private sector for letting hire young people. Then we can put conditions. If we say you get a tax break for hiring young people, they will say, well, if you hire this many young people, there's a certain percentage of young people there we get for do with women them. I don't talk about the one where they talk about out of school girls them and how we incentivize them for let them pick up skills so then go able to get jobs them. So these are all ways them where they try to see the more women then come into the workforce. And the hope now small. The hope is with mind and get this way and say representation matters. If some people if they don't see their own kind, they do something, they're not gonna feel safe and go able to do them. So if we're able to make this space where 1 director, 2 directors, like multiple directors in a woman there, multiple heads of institution in a woman there, multiple parliamentarians in a woman there, then people then they know say, well, if this woman don't do them, not a man job this, me say we able to do them. Then more people they go into them. The Honorable Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, he can always tell we one story, say, he go work in our school offline. And we all do school in a salon. And when they say the science team, where they go school, the science team, more man them from where they go school, pass woman them across the board. He go one school offline, and he's so surprised about that he always they talk about them. He go and he watch the classroom. He not believe it's in a science classroom there because the woman them, the girl picking them within the class, them boku pass the boy picking them. Because you don't mix them fashionable for woman them, for let them know see, I mean, we need them for joining me in there. They can do them because they don't see other women they do them.
So another key thing, I go still inch on this 30%. You're gonna have some complaint. I'm not going for name the complaint because of security reasons. And I know say this happen to a lot of other institutions them where it's not about saying giving 30% to women them, but as well for give them positions where they're capable for working that position. Say for example, you go to a company where the managerial position from top take on almost the third, fifth, sixth, seventh position, all a man. Then you get a job them where we feel say women can do best, but some of the times we see say they can be discriminated against. Say you're gonna mining complain when you see them big tractors, then machines them, and men then they do they. So waiting again at the plants the owner get say it's not about employing them, but make sure say they are gainfully employed, make sure say them position well secured, and make sure say we get a 30% quota in. Then complaints then they or them institutions then the way the woman then they walk into.
We not believe say any job they win a man job, win a woman job. We believe say all jobs anybody can do. And then they make we say at least the minimum. So not to 30% across the board. The minimum is 30% of women them for the in governance. And I make have been explain as say director level positions and below. So the level matters. I agree with you. When you create opportunities for the people then come into the workforce, in this case we talk about women them. Now small it happen. It happen in incremental stages. The car say when the minister go is surprised we see more women them na science classroom pass our woman then they. Then more women in a science classroom they translate into more women at college, where they do engineering, where they do medicine, where they do other sciences. It is translated to more women in the workforce, when our interns, when our new hires. They translate into more women with the into top management positions across the board. So we lay the foundation. One of the things then way we critique thinking, the one that we can talk about what we can say, that we do stuff them, we need to look at the immediate benefits them. What would they say we focus on developing human capital, not so today we see the benefit. Not tomorrow. But outside of that, we need to sit down say with the wait till that investment we don't put into young girls them translate into women in high positions across the country. We still look out and hire and recruit the women them where they in positions where they can able to go up and fill the role. So many don't they do them. The MCC compact where they talk about now women they lead them. The last job where I left in the public sector, we get more women in leadership past men themselves. So things are changing, but it's just that we put things in place, policies in place, for encourage that and for incentivize and so more people then go see the benefit of that.
So I will take you back to the earlier point where we've been make we get for do with farming, especially for the feed salon project or where the president they run now as one of his flagship programs them. Now, if a youth man or somebody decides say, me, I want left me keke riding or I left me bike riding for gonna farm for go work. Any special incentive day for then set of people who go decide say, oh me, I want left me fitter work or I want left this carpenter and business, I want gonna farm for go work. Una get any special incentive for them people them day, in as much as now the president they run for that particular flagship day for a run within elections. So any special plans there for that?
The one that we don't do on so far, I don't know what have been the procedure for letting recruit the people that we want for the part of farm. But I know say we put on our manifesto say we they come incentivize young people then for going to farming. Incentivize means they give them reason for letting them go into that. So ways then go there, we go cajole, we go able buy your young people and say if you left your bike, you need money for the let's say 50,000. I don't know how much 50,000 for a bike. Let's say the first 6 months where you work or we did at this farm, the land is farming. Don't tell them go give you 60,000 for that. I know they say that's why you work, but that's not the thought behind how we do them. We incentivize people them so that Then safe one go, all man one go. But they not go left small thing for nothing. At least during that time when they into training, there's some incentive the way then they get. We go make then still if they want to get family, then go able for still they provide for them until then go into that family. So now all are part of the process for bringing young people then come into the family.
So the manifesto as well, they talk about 5,000 job creation for people.
500,000.
500,000. Yes, 500,000 job creation. So take me to how you get for town like who that's not this targeted people.
Young people were unemployed. And the target group. And all the people that we don't talk about, so the one that we don't graduate from college, we don't get work. The one that we don't go trade school, we don't learn skill, we still not get not yet to do the dropouts them. The one that we don't sit to ask almost them, we don't know if we get the mark for go college, we don't want to do something. The people that we don't decide to, they don't want to go college, they want just learn skill. The one that we know say after secondary school, then go learn ICT, or the one that we know they're very good with their hands, then they make them chair them from tire or all the other effects in there. All young people, we know get work for do right now, and then the target audience for these 500,000 jobs we will get for create within the next government.
Your competitors, I go say the APC party, same ones who they won on this. We get for do with job creation for youth them. So I want for know waiting at the competitive edge when I get for use against them when it come to the reality now on the ground. Say you for vote for me because of this. They are also running on that same platform for create job for youth man them. So waiting at the edge when I get on them, we go make youth man them feel waiting the vibes when they talk say, oh yes, this will get for create them. The difference between UNA and the All People's Congress Party.
The difference between we and them is that the difference across the board for everything that we plan for development. We know they just happen for let development happen on our watch unexpectedly we surprise. Anything will happen, I think we don't plan. The difference now that where we say we create 500,000 jobs, we know they say when I vote for we can't give us 500,000 jobs. Then after we win, we sit down 2-3 months for decide how we do that day. The difference is we don't already begin build the factory then. We don't get the Potstocker one, we don't get the one at Kenema. The hiring already, I know for a fact the hiring already they go on for the factory in Kenema. So these are things that are already in place. We they hit the ground running. We'll win the election, June 24, as they call the election result. Nothing that they stop. We they continue the hiring, they continue for build more factories, we they continue for hire more young people. So that's the difference. We know they say, we can't vote for you, can't give a plan for do this thing, and we get for sit down almost months for up to years for decide how we do it for now. They say, look at what we don't put in place. Look at the hiring policies what we already do. Look at the amount of people we don't hire. The vamp from the vamp up.
So away from Dande, if you put percentage from 1 to 10, what will be the percentage or the grading mark we want for the SLPP party where you belong to when it comes to employment? How much percentage you feel say una able for both of say una don't get?
In terms of how many people that we don't hire?
Yes, the job creation they una don't make, people them una don't hire, the opportunities them una don't create for young man them, or people who unemployed. In a scale from 1 to 10? On
a scale of 1 to 10, including all the parameters where they play, I go say we don't get 8.5. Because we only, remember, we focus on be human capital development. No government don't hire more teachers than we don't hire. No government don't hire more school inspectors. No government don't hire more doctors, giving more nurses pin codes. That's in the we don't do. Now we don't hire the most women them in the military, most women in the police. These are things where we do already do. We don't pull down the other jobs that we talk about. How many young people that we don't help for start business within the farming sector, within the within the fishing sector, within just even the car wash. People that we not get nothing for do. If they don't get ownership of that car wash, then they sit down there and they wash car. Then at the end of the day, they get something for take home to their family. That's something that we have done. So I'll give yourself an 8.5 based on the economic situation where they prevail and then the economic situation around the world. Now we still hire the most amount of people in the workforce, and unlike other countries, we still the pay workforce, the public workforce, even throughout COVID up to now.
So in the wrap-up statement now, as we did, fit for draw the cutting downs of the program, waiting go make somebody look the SLPP and vote for the SLPP, especially when it thinks say me na unemployed somebody and I just feel say with SLPP my life can be better if they continue.
The SLPP are the only party where they plan development and salon, and I know say all my wants development and salon. When we decide, say, we do human capital development with first time, nobody not go say we not make a dent on the human capital developments at the country. For now, we're a world leader on that stuff that we would work on. We don't say we do focus on feeding the country this time around, and our first strategic pillar of the 5 things that we would do, feeding the country. We need a workforce who go able for work for feed we all. And our young people, they're no more able to do that. So we commitment we don't make to the people. When I vote for SLPP, SLPP don't get a track record for invest in young people. We know they take people for all day and they dance behind, we no more, they will give them small thing. We focus on developing young minds, we focus on creating opportunities for the young people then thrive and become leaders then. Because if we all are leader them, then we all look out for community development. So the last word we have left, we fumble them when I vote for SLPP. SLPP gets the only plan for development for Salon. And SLPP don't decide, say, part of the work we then get for do, we will come back. Therefore, make sure, say, we provide job opportunities for the young people then, because we know how we all suffer. So now we all join on, vote for SLPP, and then we go see how we can move the country go before.
All right, plenty. Thank you. In name David Maliwe, na SLPP MP candidate, and I mean not the talk about the manifesto, the promises we they inside the job creation for youth man them especially, and same way so they don't they talk about waiting at the plans them way the Salon people party get, and continue for the listen to Epic Radio 99.3 FM, and we want for tell you say the program we just don't listen to now the SLPP how where they come to you every Monday and Thursday from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and there is a paid for program. Me we don't present the program today. My name Anthony Vandi.
Of SLPP on a Madabio we want. For the leadership of SLPP on a Madabio we want. For the leadership of SLPP on a Madabio we want. For the leadership of SLPP on a Madabio we want. For democracy and transparency, for food security.